due to the animal-like noises I made as I feasted. My oldest son awoke and came into the room. What a horrific sight it must have been for the 5-year-old boy to see. He saw me as I looked up, my face covered in blood. The terror he must have felt as I slowly approached him with my fangs fully extended, dripping the last of his mother's once life-giving blood. After a few seconds of screaming horror, the boy's body fell limp in my arms as I sucked it dry, savoring every rich red drop. The young boy's blood was especially invigorating as I ingested the life force that poured from his pulsating carotid artery. Then I went for my youngest son. At only 1 year old, his body did not contain near the amount of blood my wife's had. It seems the younger, the better, as I quickly sucked down what little blood his small body had to offer. That last little bit of blood from my youngest son made me feel better, younger, stronger than I ever had before. But now, the haunting memory of that night is especially hard to bear. I can still hear their cries and screams, see the hideous sight of their bloodless, pale white bodies as they lay in a pile on the kitchen floor. It is as clear in my mind as if it had happened only yesterday. Only after I had finished feeding was I able to realize what I had done. My beautiful wife and my 2 sons lay bloodless and dead before me. But I was full. My great hunger had been sated. From there, I had to go out and find more live humans to feed on. I could only go 4 or 5 days between feedings. After that, I could no longer resist the hunger that forced me to kill. The small town in which I lived did not provide enough blood to sustain me for very long, and soon was completely wiped out. So I was forced to move on. As I look back on what had happened in my town, I decided to only take 5 or 6 victims per town, so as not to devour and destroy whole families. Then I moved on. The occasional lone traveler on the road kept me going between towns. As a stranger in a small town, the people knew I was the one killing their family members and friends, but were powerless to stop me. I could not be killed by any means, and believe me, they tried every way imaginable. Fire, arrows, guns, but none of it had any effect. I continued to feed upon the helpless townspeople and grew stronger and more powerful of mind. I soon found that through a type of telepathy, I could at times command my victims to come to me, but I had to have once looked into their eyes. I have come to realize over the years that there are differences in the type of blood I take. The blood of a female does more to strengthen my mind and telepathic abilities. The male blood makes me stronger physically and gives me the ability to heal myself so quickly. The blood of a child, male or female, gives me a youthful, almost at times playful air. As I feed on them, the years melt away. Now I am so alone. I have no friends, for when I do make a friend, the relationship is always short-lived. It doesn't take long for my hunger to take command, and and soon they become my next meal. My hunger is stronger than any friendship, and sadly, any love. I have had many loves over the centuries, but all have fallen victim to my voracious hunger. I have thought of making one of them like me, a vampire, but I cannot bring myself to put another through the pain I am cursed with. It would be a much more horrible thing to do than to kill them. So you see, it is like the wolf pouncing on the hare. He does it because it is what he must do to survive. He has no malice towards the hare, but the urge to feed is tremendous. I have tried to fight it, but it is impossible. When darkness falls, I must begin to hunt. I have seen a lot of things happen over the years, and have been involved in a lot of history, but this is not my reason for telling you this. I could go into detail of the victims I have killed, but again, that is not the reason for telling you about me. I am telling you this to convince you that vampires do exist and that anyone can become a victim. In telling you how I destroyed my family, I hope to show that no one is safe. I know many people think vampires are fictitious creatures found only in the fertile minds of fiction writers, and I can understand why. The deaths are always covered up by the police or attributed to satanic cults and serial killers. The real culprits are vampires like me and the nearly 1,000 others that I know of that roam lifelessly through this world. How else can so many deaths and missing persons be explained? Some of us are caught and put in jail, but being dead, it's easy to fake death. We are buried and soon rise to hunt again. There are many people falsely accused of our despicable deeds. They confess to the crimes and are locked away, but the killings continue. The best advice I could give potential victims is to never go anywhere at night alone. There is safety in numbers. Vampires only hunt at night, not because the sun will hurt us, though I do find it a bit uncomfortable, but because the darkness provides cover for our sinister deeds. I do not sleep in a coffin filled with dirt from my homeland, nor do I hang from the ceiling like a bat. Garlic is no help to you. Crosses have no effect on me. The only thing that can help you is not to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. If you choose to heed my warnings, you may well have a long and happy life. Now, like the old lion, I have grown weary of the hunt. I no longer wish to go out into the world and hunt as I once did. Hidden in the words of this story is a code which allows me to contact your mind. If you have listened to this story exactly as I have told it to you, you can at any time come under my control. It is a form of hypnosis. You will be compelled to come to me whenever I call. I'll be seeing you. A.